Good afternoon, Flosstube. Hi there, everybody. Today is Friday, the 23rd of October. Welcome if you are new, and welcome back if you have joined me before. This is Flosstube episode 9, which is super exciting. Can't believe this is the 9th time I've sat down to do this now. Let's get started. A little bit of an apology. This is later than I thought it would be, but I do have a really good reason. So on Saturday, when I should have updated, it was my brother's birthday, and with the restrictions in place in the UK right now, we had to get creative on ways to celebrate. So we got fish and chips, and we met him in the park opposite his flat, and we ate out of the paper, and we gave him his gifts. So that was really lovely, and then I knew I had this leave coming up from work because I had to use up all of my leave from the library. Our year runs from the date that we started working there for the full year, and then it refreshes. So I started working there on the 2nd of December, so I still had like 3 weeks of holiday to take before the end of November. So I booked the weeks off, and now I am on leave from the library for the next 3 weeks, and then I go back on the Monday, which is the 16th, and then I go off again on the 19th for another 2 weeks because we had our America trip booked, and although we're pretty sure it's going to be cancelled now, it's all going to work out for the best because we have a provisional move date, so it's not been confirmed yet with our seller, but our buyer has already agreed to it, and we've agreed that the 13th of November, now it is a Friday the 13th, but we think that we've had our bad luck as far as this year is going to go. So we've agreed that 13th of November, Friday the 13th of November for a provisional date. Our seller's still got to agree, but we're really excited that in 3 weeks' time we could be in the process of moving, and then you won't have that annoying traffic noise in the background. Our new house is at the end of a cul-de-sac, nowhere near a main road, so it'll be really lovely to have that peace and quiet, no constant hum of traffic. Of course it's bother from both of my workplaces, but we will see how that goes. I'm just going to quickly give my glasses a little bit of a wipe. Okay, now we'll get on to what we are supposed to be doing, which is talking about cross-stitch. So I've been very busy since I last spoke to you, and I have a finish as of last night. If you follow me on Instagram, rdukes88, you will already have seen this almost completed because I had one block left to do, and I left the fox until last because he was my favourite part. But he was finished off last night, and I'm super happy. This is a Chardin Privé, Small Moments of Autumn, and it's just adorable. Now I'm going to have plans to FFO this in a Priscilla and Chelsea style, with sticky board and ribbon and nice little bow. But I love doing this so much. So I stitched it. This fabric was from ClaireBrownXStitch on Etsy, and she does lots of different prints on fabric, and I really loved this one. I'm going to leave a 1-inch border all the way around so that you get some more of that leaf print is actually visible. The only changes that I made, because I used all the called for threads, the changes that I made were a few accidental and a few intentional. So accidental was the crow's legs were supposed to be backstitched in orange, and I missed that, and I wasn't about to undo it. And also I backstitched around the hedgehog's eye and nose, and the fox's eyes and nose. And that's just because I think when you have animals with cross-stitch eyes, it makes them look like they're dead. So I put just a little backstitch square around it, so it wasn't quite so dramatically X'd, and the fox, I think it just made his eyes look a little bit neater as well. And then so they were my changes. Everything else is exactly as charted. I did wonder about stitching white in the hole in the door, because if you look at the hole in the door you can see some of the fabric, some of the print showing through. So I did contemplate stitching white in the middle of it, but in the end I just decided it doesn't really matter, and I think it looks adorable anyway, so we will leave it as it is. I am so sorry about the glare coming in off the window. I have tried everything to get rid of the glare today. I have changed the angle of the camera, I turned the lights on and that made it worse. I closed the curtains and turned the lights on, and I tried doing everything, and it's just, my skin is too pale and it glares, and so does the fabric apparently. So, I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, so, but it's not going to be FFO'd until after we move. I have all the bits that I need sort of saved on my Amazon, and just waiting for me to press purchase, but I think I will wait until we have moved to finish him off and have him all ready to display. The winter one still hasn't been put up for sale, so I'm a bit confused about that, but hopefully it won't be long and then I can get started on the winter one, because it would be lovely if I could get the winter one stitched up in advance of December getting here. Yeah, and I have the spring and summer ones ready to go. Apart from, well, I don't have the threads. I have the fabric and I have the patterns, and they're all ready. So that'll be exciting. So now we are on to whips, works in progress. So you've seen this before, but it has had some work on it, and it will be getting a lot more work on it, and I'll explain more about that later. So this was the present that I'm making for my brother. He doesn't watch this, so it's safe to show you guys. This is the Marble Wreath from Manda Inks Designs on Etsy. It's a rather large pattern, 20,000 stitches total. The last time you guys saw it, none of this brown in the Infinity Gauntlet was there, so I've made quite a lot of progress on that. I'm really happy with it. I'm going to be focusing on it a lot more here on out, because I'm very aware that we have 2 months until Christmas and I want it to be ready for Christmas. So yeah, it's getting a lot of focus, but it is a really lovely piece, and I'm really happy with it. The only thing I've got to change is on this side, I think I spoke about this last time, on this side of the Infinity Gauntlet it is supposed to be like outlined in blue, much like the purple here, but on this side of the Infinity Gauntlet it's blue, and I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to rechart it as the same purple, because the purple is around literally everything else in the chart. The blue is only here, which struck me as really odd, so I'm going to change the blue to the purple so that it matches and everything is outlined in the same sort of colour. But yes, definitely glad that the Infinity Gauntlet is, I'm working away on it, because it's quite a, I think it's like the largest of all the motifs on the entire chart, so I just wanted to get it finished, and it's getting there now, so I'm really happy about that. So yeah, this is going to be a much more of a focus for me for the next little while, and to help me with that, my fiance brought me a little treat. So last weekend it was Prime Day on Amazon, so he purchased me a new Kindle Fire tablet for me to use Pattern Keeper on, because some of you will remember I am using Pattern Keeper on my Heaven and Earth designs, and on, I was super psyched when this marble piece turned out to be on Pattern Keeper as well, compatible. So now I just unlock. Now I have Pattern Keeper on my new tablet, and if I click and then zoom out, you can see that actually I've done quite a little bit of the chart already. There we go. So I'm actually making lots of progress, and I'm really happy with it. So hopefully, it being portable, I'll now be able to take the marble piece to work with me, or whatever I'm doing, I'll be able to take it with me and work on it out and about. So that's really exciting, because I used to work on everything else when I was out and about, because like whatever I was doing with a paper chart, because it was easier to transport. Because obviously using BlueStacks as an Android emulator on my laptop, having to look at my laptop everywhere would be a nightmare. So instead, I have my tablet now, and I hope to have a lot of fun with that in the next few weeks. So that's that. After whips, we have got haul. Now, you might remember in my last video, sorry, I'm just scrolling down on my notes. My last video, I told you there wouldn't be much haul next time because I spent a lot of money last month and I was trying to be good this month. Yeah, it didn't really work out like that. So I did treat myself to a chart last week from Madame Chantilly. I'm sure you've heard of her. Her charts are just adorable. I am going to cover up half of this because how Madame Chantilly organises her copyright is she writes your name and your address all the way across the pages of the chart. So I'm going to just rub out some of our address and show you the chart. So it is the Celebrate Christmas chart, and I just love it so much. It is just adorable, I think, and I'm really excited to get started. I'm going to do it on the Brittany 28 count evenly fabric that I showed you before. It's in here. It was earmarked for another project, but I've changed my mind. I'm going to use it for this one. So it's this gorgeous sparkly evenly fabric, and I'm really excited to get started. I also brought all the threads that I needed for that, and I have a new storage solution for my threads. So I called up my LNS and asked them to set aside all of the colours that I needed for this particular project. I got 2 skeins of every colour, even though I probably won't need 2 skeins of every colour, but I didn't want to be short. So these are just all the called for DMCs, and you'll see these little floss tags that I made. I had some gorgeous Me To You craft paper and I laminated it, and then I had some hole punches and I just punched holes in both sides, one small one for the ring and a bigger one for the floss to hang from. Now the only problem really I've got with these is it's quite close to the edge, if you can see there, quite close to the edge on this side. Now that's because of the way that the punch is made, and I'm thinking I may just use a smaller hole punch next time and have it be a little bit further away from the edge. I mean, it is laminated, so it is strong enough to sort of be tugged a little and would be okay, but I'm not sure I want it quite so close to the edge, and it's not an option to get it further away from the edge with the style of punch that I bought. So this is something I'm gonna think about a little. But because it's laminated, I put little stickers on the outside of the laminated with the DMC number, and I can take that off and replace it with something else whenever I change my project. So, but this is going to be a long project. It's not going to be ready for Christmas this year, I know that, but hopefully it'll be ready for Christmas next year. Much, I would assume so. I mean, it's quite a large design. I don't know what the exact stitch count is, but it's quite large. It's it comes over 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. So it's a 4-page design. Yes, could take quite a while, but I'm hoping. So I have those on a floss ring, and then I put them inside one of these little Prestity wallets from, I think this one's from WH Smith, but I normally buy them in like the Works for like a couple of quid, or I think it's like a quid for 5 of them, so that works quite well as a storage solution. So I've got those all ready to go. I've got the floss, I've got the pattern, I've got the fabric, and I've got the cute Christmassy project bag to keep them all in, so that will be being started I want to say in November at some point, but I really don't know. With the move, it might get pushed back and it might just be a December start, and then something that I get out for like Jolly July or something next year and finish it up in July. So that's an option. Now the other part of my haul is my Disney cross-stitch collection. Arrived on Monday, so I was at work and my fiance was like, it's arrived, but you're not going to be happy because the postman has folded it to get it through the letterbox. Now, I wouldn't mind if the postman folded it, put it through the letterbox because no one was home. But my fiance was home and he didn't even try and knock the door. So, and the crease isn't too bad, it's just here, there's a little bit of a crease, and it's just annoying that we were, you know, someone was home. But I'm going to show you some of the designs in there. The link to subscribers in the description box at the bottom. So this was issue 4, and the thing I was really excited about in this issue is the Alice in Wonderland pictures. So I'm just going to fold it there so you can't see the chart on the other page. But the Alice in Wonderland designs are lovely. Now, so it's on the first one it says, do you suppose she's a wildflower? And the second one says, I can't go back to yesterday because I was a different person. The only issue I have with both of these designs is the coverage of the black. And I don't know what they stitched it on, but if it's 14 count then it really needs another strand. 11 count it's saying, so I think they definitely need a third strand on 11 count, but I would never stitch on 11 count, I would stitch it on 14 and they'll be slightly smaller, but the coverage would hope slightly better. I do like the sort of watercolour effect of the flowers in the background, I think they're really lovely. The other design in here that's quite nice is the Peter Pan one, so it's I think it's like a laundry bag. Yes, it's a laundry bag, Faith, Trust and Pixie Dust. It's got like the silhouettes of Peter and Tink and Wendy and Michael and John? Yes, John. Gosh, it's been a long time since I've watched Peter Pan. But yeah, so I think that's a really lovely design, and again, maybe something that I will do in the future. Oh, so every issue there's like a frame for a photo, like I'm making a photo of a frame from, and it's absolutely adorable. Let me see if I can find a picture of just the picture rather than the chart. Yes, so on the contents page is a picture of it. So it's just this Toy Story one, can you see? It's adorable, and definitely something that I can see myself doing. A really lovely idea that I saw in the Facebook group that I'm a member of for this is that someone is stitching all of the bits from the sampler onto an Afghan, and I have a piece of Afghan fabric, so I'm thinking that maybe how I stitch these, and yeah, so that's an idea that's percolating in my head for a little while. In issue 5 there are a couple of really nice designs in here. Now I'm not a big fan of the sampler picture in these issues. The Baloo and Mowgli Jungle Book was never a favourite of mine. My brother really liked it. I was not a big fan of the Jungle Book at all. The Even Miracles Take a Little Time with the mice from Cinderella I did think was adorable. Gus Gus and Jacques. So very cute. So that was that. Then there was a Tigger cushion, which just seems, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but that just seems like the most boring sewing I could ever have imagined. That's the chart. I really shouldn't have shown you the chart. I'm going to take that out. There is a picture of, there we go. There's a photograph of the Tigger cushion just there. That just seems like a lot of boring sewing to me. Like it's just orange and black, and I would get so bored stitching that. There's no way I'm stitching that. There's a lovely Beauty and the Beast bookmark there, and I do like bookmarks, I do collect them from everywhere we go, so that's quite a cute one. So maybe I will do that at some point. Who knows? Mystery. And then the frame in this one is actually a frozen one, so if I go back to the contents page, show you the picture, the frame is actually adorable. So it's got the silhouettes there of Anna and Elsa and Kristoff and Olaf as well. So that's a really sweet frame. I really like the frame designs in these, gotta say, they're definitely a nice one. So in this one, the sampler was finishing off Blue Mowgli, and then just one bite, Snow White inspired. They put it on a little apron. I don't know if it's a bag or an apron. Yes, apron. So I put it on the front of the apron there, which is really sweet. But it would be just as good on a lunchbox or a recipe book maybe. And then there's this cute coaster inspired by Beauty and the Beast. So it's got a chip on it, and it says just. I sit back and enjoy a cuppa with this super cute coaster. So I can't tell you what it says. You are my cup of tea, and there's a picture of Chip on there with it. Then there's another Blue Mowgli chart, their necessities. They're dancing along there. Not, like I said, Jungle Book's not my favourite. There's also like a Shere Khan chart included with that, so definitely want to do. They also include posters, and I think that is such a lovely poster. That's like proper old school, how they would have, I think it's like a poster from the original release, so that's really interesting to sort of see that original release poster. And then it is a Lion King frame, and it also tells you what's coming up in the next issue. So in the project gallery there's this really fun Hakuna Matata, Thumpy Keyring, Mickey and Friends bookmark, which I think I'm going to have to stitch that, and this lovely Marie pattern here from the Aristocats. There's also a lovely 20s inspired font there, which is interesting. And I'll show you the frame. Lion King inspired frame is just there. So another really great one to stitch for anybody that you know that's a Lion King fan, because it's very popular. My sister really enjoyed the Lion King. She was about the right age when the original film was released. So yeah, I'm really happy with those. Like I say, I'm not too impressed with the threads, so I may try and convert the threads to DMC. I know some people in the group have had a go at doing that, but yeah, I think I will convert the, because most of them are most of the patterns in here are converted to DMC and Anchor. They have the conversions in there, but the floss they provide you with is Hatchet's own brand, and I'm not sure on the quality of them, so I may convert to DMC before I stitch them as that Afghan pattern that I've got waiting to get started. The only other thing that I had to share with you guys is, because we're moving, we've been out to the garage and done some sorting, because we're going to the tip tomorrow with all the stuff that we definitely don't want to move with us. And whilst we were out there, I found this book. Now, this is a book I bought years and years ago. I think I bought it when it was like first released. Trying to find a year now. I'm like interested. 2011. So I probably bought it in. I think I bought it in like 2012. So it's Sweet Treats and Cross Stitch designed. It does say a name there, but I really couldn't pronounce it to save my life. But these designs are super cute. And I can't even remember what I bought them for. like really, but they are super cute. There's lots of motifs in here and sort of cakes and things. And there's lots of finishing instructions, which I thought was really good. So like no matter what you're going to turn your things into, there are sort of finishing instructions for all of the different techniques, which is really it's a good idea. I mean, 'cause there's everything from sort of placemats and napkins and cards and gift tags and singlets and shoulder bags. I mean, there's really just so many instructions, and lots of different finishing ideas, which I think is really great, because there's so many times when you're like, oh, I'd love to stitch that, but I don't know what I'd do it for. So that's really great. But yeah, I bought it so long ago, and I found it in a box of all my mum's old knitting patterns. So managed to rescue it. It needed a bit of a wipe. It was quite dusty and not looking its best, but now it looks fine. And it'll be able to go on my stitchy shelves when we move. Yeah, so the last little thing that I have is recommendations. So I had to go back through my other videos and see who I'd already recommended so that I didn't tell you the same people twice. So the two that I've chosen for this update are Liz, so that's Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch over on YouTube. I love her videos. She's a really sweet lady, and her finishes are just so adorable, and she stitches quite a variety of things, and she really got into Sampler September last month, and she was really enjoying that, so head on over and check her videos out. Link is in the description box below. And the other one is Tina. So Tina is another UK based stitcher. Her channel is Fancy Lady Cross Stitch, and she's called that because she does a lot of the lavender and lace, mirabilia, fancy ladies sort of projects. She's literally just finished a lavender and lace angel, which is just really stunning, and it's not the kind of stitching that I do, but I really love seeing her work on those and see how the progress comes along. She's also stitching one of the Emma Condon designs from the Cross Stitch for the Soul book, which it's on my wish list, and I just keep talking myself out of buying it, so maybe I will treat myself to that for Christmas, who knows. So those are my recommendations for this time around. My plans are to really knuckle down and concentrate on this. Now that I've got my new tablet, I don't have any excuses for not concentrating on this, and then I also intend to start my stitching with the Housewives. Fall will be almost over by the time I have this done, but at least he will be done and ready for next year. I talked you through last time the changes that I plan to make to this chart, because obviously we don't say fall in the UK, and also because I'm stitching on white, my cup is going to be the opposite colour. I'm going to do the cup in the brown, the writing is in, and then do the writing in white so it shows up better. And I still have the other half of this fabric, so I think I'm going to stitch it on the other half of this fabric. And I have all of the Classic Colorworks to stitch that with as well, so I'm super excited about getting to use variegated floss. Variegated floss, I've never used it before, so I'm super excited to give that a whirl and see how that goes. But definitely the marble thing is so high on my priorities list now, with 2 months to go till Christmas. I need to get a wriggle on, so I'll definitely be doing that. And I think that's everything for today. I haven't forgotten about showing my charts, but I think they're going to be definitely a separate video. Now our buyer is coming to check out the flat on Tuesday, so all my charts are going away again. So the videos where I show my charts will be after we have moved. It won't be before now. We've just got too much to do. We've still got a lot of boxes in our living room. But now that we have a provisional date for move, I'm so excited. I should have one more Flosstube update from here before we move, so hopefully in 2 weeks' time there'll be a quick video just letting you know how far along I've gotten with my plans, and yeah, checking in with you guys. I made an order today, so I will hopefully have a little bit of haul to share with you. Yeah, and that is everything for today. It's been really great catching up with all of you. Please do leave me a little comment in the comments box down below. I love reading the comments and getting the comments and having a little look to see what you guys think of all of my projects. You know, one of the main motivations for me starting this Flosstube was to get that sense of community that everybody else seems to get out of this whole Flosstube experience. So I love getting the comments from people. I do always like or reply to comments if necessary. God, I'm so sorry about that annoying whirl in the background. I put the washing machine on before I started this video and I did not think about how annoying that whir is, so if it's annoying you, I'm so sorry. We've got such a busy weekend planned that I really didn't think. I just thought, let's get the washing done, and now it's getting louder. Okay guys, so please take care, have a great stitchy fortnight, and yeah, try and keep smiling through all of this madness that we are living through right now. I know that some people are having a really hard time. You know, it's always on the news how everyone's jobs are in jeopardy and how, yeah, it's just a stressful time right now. But as I said, try and keep smiling, try and keep stitching. Have a wonderful few weeks, and I'll see you again soon.